Good morning, Cheryl. Oh, can't hear you.
How's that?
That's better.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm just moving some things around here.
Uh-huh.
Somebody asked to see a painting that's on my messy studio picture. And so I just had to go shift it around till I could find it.
I think the word messy doesn't have to be said when you say studio.
Well, yeah, this is true. This is true.
No matter how hard I work on it, and I do every week, my bead studio, my God, I keep putting stuff away and it doesn't look like I've done anything.
Well,
Ugh.
I can't even find where things are because somebody else helped pack my studio. Well, I didn't
Oh,
have a studio when I moved, but somebody else helped pack things and I unpacked things. But first, I have to find out where I put them
yeah,
and or find what box they're in or something on that order.
there's nothing worse than knowing I got something in the mail a few days ago and have no idea where it is. It's ridiculous.
I've done that. I know exactly what you mean.
I know what I need to do, but I haven't moved the stuff out of the way. Basically, I need an inbox
Hmm.
because when I receive new supplies, I enter them on a spreadsheet because when I go to price my pieces, I need to know
Right.
what I've got into them. But I used to be able to do it off the top of my head, but not anymore. I've got too much stuff.
That's for sure. Life is a bit strange sometimes.
Well, I shouldn't say I have too many interests. I do have too many interests, but I don't act on all of them. Otherwise, this house would be in a bigger mess than it is. So I have limited it, but then you get into some depth into something, and there's just crap all over the place.
Oh, yes.
Like when Michael said, he got a little bit stern with me and said, "You got to do the final project," and I was so frustrated because I kid you not, I'm looking at the leaf on the end of my dining room table. It's 2 feet by 3 feet, and that's what I paint on. Yeah, yeah. So I got a little ahead of myself, but Michael was nice enough to tell me about his classes when we bought the painting from him.
Uh-huh.
And so I went for it, and it's like, and I bought some supplies, and it's like I need 3 times the amount of paint that I have. It's ridiculous. I bought the small tubes, and you go through I can't believe how much you go through.
Oh, yes, you do go through a lot. I've started buying larger tubes of things that I use a lot, and I actually got a jar of white, and I just take some of that out and put it in a little jelly jar or something to work on. Yeah.
That's my palette from the finished piece. But I've got a whole bunch of paint on here that's mixed up. What the hell am I going to do with it? It's going to dry out and be gone.
Well, palette mud, as they used to say in China painting, that's
What is
palette
that?
mud. You mix it all together and tone a canvas with it.
Ah, I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, well, I did enjoy it finally because it kicked me in the butt because I was
Uh-huh.
just fiddle farting around and feeling like a third grader doing finger paints. You know when you've been given tools but not enough information,
Exactly.
and I'm dabbing and I'm diddling and I'm going, this is not how I want to paint. And well, I guess it was night before last, I
Yeah.
just tossed and turned and finally came up with a plan for what I was going to do. And I walked around my house and I looked at all the paint. We have a lot of paintings. I looked at the paintings of all my very favorite artists and I started really, what did they do here? How did they do this?
Yeah.
And a lot of them, their brush strokes are very confident and perfectly placed. And the paint isn't perfectly smooth. It's got other colors streaked through it. And I just said, you got to go for it. You don't have to paint every leaf on the tree. You don't have to put the tree in
No,
exactly
you're
the
right.
same place as the photo. And
Oh, but I feel like I have to do those trees anyway.
I know, but I am pleased with how it came out, but I don't know when I'm gonna go back to painting because like I said, I just do too much and have too much already going on.
Yeah. My
But
brother just brought up genealogy not too long ago, and I sent him a bunch of stuff I had, but I realized it's been years since I updated any of that stuff.
oh yeah,
It's gonna be a
that could,
long time.
you could go down a rabbit hole with that.
Oh, yes, you can.
Do you ever watch that show, Finding Your Roots?
Oh, every week.
Yeah, it's on PBS. The only thing that
Uh-huh.
bothers me about that show is they start projecting what personalities were like or relationships. It's like you can't tell that from,
No, you can't.
records. You
Well,
can't tell that.
especially the one last night, the
Yeah,
one
that was a little
with the
much.
local people.
It was a little much.
Yeah, it was a little much. They did project way too much on that.
Yeah, yeah. But I would love to have somebody say, yeah, I'm going to do a big book for you. Can you imagine what that service probably costs?
Uh-huh. Yes, I
Uh,
do.